Welcome everyone to Do More, Be More, and today's video is going to be super simple, straight to the point, but very informative. We're going to be talking about what exactly is a low-calorie food, and we're going to use two things as examples. We're going to use protein bars, and we're going to use pancake syrup. Why these two? They're good examples. So that is coming up right now. And we're rolling. Basically, I'm not going to wait for the video. Welcome everyone to Do More, Be More. Oh, come on, don't tell me this thing is still on. Now, even though we're talking about low-calorie foods, I'm also going to be mentioning some foods that are high in calorie. With that being said, if you're looking to gain weight or maintain and you think that a certain high number of calories would be good for you, of course, having used your calculator, then by all means you can use the higher end of the calorie range foods for your own benefit. But we're going to use it as a reference, comparing the low-calorie ones to higher calorie. This will be beneficial for anyone who just pretty much wants to get an idea of how calorie counting works. There's a lot of details I can go into that's going to make this a whole lot easier for you, but I'm going to give you these two types of items as examples so that you can see why it all makes sense and why calorie counting is probably the best way to go. Before we go on with the video though, I do appreciate any support. Please remember to press like in the bottom, the button that says like. Actually, it doesn't say like, it has the thumb on it. This means you like it. So I don't want you to just like it in real life. I mean, most of all, I do want you to like it in real life, but press the like button because you like me and you appreciate me and you want this video to do well, just like all the other ones. So do that. Moving forward, so we're going to take a look at a few protein bars, or quote-unquote protein bars. So you've seen me do a review on the Bear Bells in the past. If you haven't, go and check that out. So the Bear Bells was, in my opinion, one of the better tasting protein bars. Then this is the Kirkland protein bars, which I have also shown you in the past on a review. This is another one that I just recently bought just because I felt like trying something different. And this is the Protein 1. I thought it was Fiber. Oh, it is, by the makers of Fiber One. Protein 1 protein bar. And I honestly always choose the word protein bar delicately because a lot of people seem to call their bars protein bars when they're probably not, and we'll go into why that is. And then we have this is the cookies and cream bar from the Atkins company, which we'll also go into detail. So let's just say that this Kirkland is the ultimate standard as far as calories, because think about what this is. This is, sorry about the noise, 190 calories. I think this one was recently switched to 180. I think they switched the recipe, but I have a lot of these. And this one has, it was 180 now with 21 grams of protein, which is ridiculous, man. You're not gonna find anything like this that doesn't taste like this. I mean, if you want something that tastes a little bit better, it'll be slightly different in macros. But this is just really, really good. So we're going to use this as a line of reference, as the standard. But remember, it's not going to be the absolute best tasting one. So let's take, for example, something that's really small, the Protein 1. The reason I'm saying that a lot of bars aren't actually protein bars is because for the amount of calories that they have, it's not enough protein. So let's say this is 21 calories, so then let's say a bar that has 20 grams of protein is a lot, but this is 180 calories. Let's say the bar is like 450 calories, and there are bars that have calories at that range, 400 to 450, and it has about 20 grams of protein. Is 20 grams of protein really a lot at this point, with considering how many calories you're getting for it? You may want to think about that. And they're also going to be expensive. They're going to be super high in calorie because of like fats and sugars and things of that sort. So those are all extra things that we really don't need. So that's why choices like this will be important, because these set the standard. When we absolutely want to be adherent to our calorie rules and meal plans, whatever it is that we set for ourselves, not that other people set for us, but that we set for ourselves, things like these, again, the word is going to be repeated several times today. They set the standard as far as how good they should be. Let's compare it to the Bear Bells, which is 190 calories with 20 grams of protein. 10 calories more with 1 gram of protein less. At this point, you just have to see, well, which one do you like better? I probably will end up going with this one most of the time because it tastes better and it's a little bigger, but this one takes a little longer to chew because it's a little chewier, but it has the best macros. Regardless of which is the case, I always want both of these in my house, and I always have both of these in my house. Up to now, by the way, caramel cashew is my absolute favorite flavor. If you guys have had any, let me know in the description area or the comment section. You've tried a better one. I've only tried this one, caramel cashew, and salty peanut. Caramel cashew is the bomb. So let's go on back to this one. So let's say this is 90 calories and 10 grams of protein. This is actually pretty good. Why do I say that? Because if we were to compare to this is, by the way, tiny. So we'll bring it out of the package to see how tiny it is. And look at the package here. It's almost half the size. So this is 90 calories and 10 grams of protein. Let's say this doubled, because we said it was half the size. If it was doubled, it'd be 180 calories and 20 grams of protein. And this is 180 calories and 21 grams of protein. So it's basically like this. So if you had two of these, it'd be the same as this. Does that matter? Well, if you're just trying to have something really small, just because you just want the taste of something sweet in your mouth and also want something that has some protein in it, that it's not going to hurt your calorie goals, boom, this is something good to have. So is this good? Yeah. It says keto friendly. I don't care for that. But is this good for protein and good and low calorie, something that it's not going to hurt your calorie number barely at all with a good amount of protein? Yeah, this is good. You want to have two of these, it's essentially the same as having one of these or one of these. You see what I'm getting at? So that is actually, it's pretty important to look at that, because just because they're small doesn't mean that they're not good as far as what nutrition it has. Are these healthy? Are these going to fight cancer? Probably not. I'm not saying they're going to give you cancer. I'm just saying they're not going to necessarily be the healthiest foods in the sense that its micronutrients are not as beneficial as their macronutrients. So that's really what this is emphasizing. Now let's look at this one, the Atkins Cookies and Cream. Atkins, another name for keto, which later became keto, is actually pretty famous. Well, it became famous and then it became keto, and that's a whole different thing that I personally don't participate in, but nevertheless, it's something that a lot of people do. So I'm going to look at this one too. So I'm going to look up the Atkins bar on what is this called? The MyFitnessPal, and we're going to find out how many calories it actually has. So take me 1 second and we'll be able to see. So that is, didn't come up yet. Bear with me. So this, first of all, it says 1 meal replacement bar. This is not going to replace a meal for me. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's 190 calories, which is in between these two. And the size is not bad. It's not that terrible. So as far as like satiating, yeah, it's not that bad. I've eaten these. These are actually also really good. These don't taste like protein bars at all. And that's also because the protein count is not that great either. So it's 13 grams of protein. Is this a protein bar? No. Does it say it on here at all? No, it doesn't. So they're being right about what they're saying this is. I mean, it's a meal replacement bar. Well, there's a note here. What does that mean? Meal replacement bar is probably in the box. So what it means is that, I mean, if you can have a meal that's 190 calories and that's good for you, by all means, and it has 13 grams of protein, there's some benefit to it. Of course, since it's Atkins, it's going to favor fat over any other macronutrients, which we aren't necessarily saying is bad. If you refer to my last video, I'm also saying that fats are necessary. Just want to make sure that you're having the good fats, the ones that actually have some benefit for you. So, is this a bad bar to have? It's not the worst, and it tastes really good. I'm not even gonna lie, this tastes really good. I haven't tasted this one yet, and I've actually been very curious, so I might as well have that right now, because you know what? I still have like 400 calories left for my day. I was gonna have ice cream, and I'm still gonna have ice cream because this barely hits it. So look, it's very chocolatey on the outside. Focus. Focus. And yeah, it's like a granola bar, those fudge dipped ones. So here we go. I knew it was got the tastiness of a protein bar. They spared no expense in making this like a protein bar. It tastes like a protein bar. I thought it was gonna be a little more granola, but then thinking about how much protein is in here in this little bar, it had to have had that protein taste. So when something's really good and they call it a protein bar, chances are it's really low in protein. Because when you have that much protein and that few calories, you have to put a lot of protein. There's no way you're not gonna taste it. There's no way. So I'm gonna need some water. I am really tasting the protein on this one. It's not the absolute best tasting, but it's not super expensive. I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't super expensive in comparison to buying these bigger bad boys. But this is good if you're going on a trip, or if you're at work and your lunch is not arriving yet. I'm sorry if I'm chewing, but let's say your lunch hasn't arrived yet and you're starving to death. You need an option that is just gonna get you by and it's not gonna hurt your calorie goal. This is good for that. And just threw an extra 10 calories to whatever it is you were gonna have. So I think it's a good option. Yes. So I hope these examples of protein bars have been beneficial because honestly, it does give you an idea of how you count your calories. So now that we saw what an actual low calorie, high calorie food is, depending on what amount of protein is in there, we're gonna look at foods that are, whether they're low in calorie or not, considering what they are. So these are not protein foods. These are just, we're gonna look at their calorie range and just see how they measure against each other. So we're gonna start with, we're gonna go to this Hy-Vee brand. This is the most regular, typical one. It's a butter flavored pancake and waffle syrup. So for 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters, you get 110 calories. And this is not for protein, so 0 protein. Uses corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, water, salt, natural and artificial flavors, cellulose gum, citric acid, potassium sorbate, a preservative, sodium hexamethylphosphate, a preservative, and caramel color. And it's distributed by Hy-Vee, Westtown Parkway. So this is clearly not conscious of any macro counting and at all, calorie counting. So this is not what it's for. This is to have a butter flavored maple syrup on your pancakes. So now that we're looking at the standard that most people will get because we need pancake syrup. Where's the pancake syrup? Let's go to the pancake syrup bottle and grab a pancake syrup bottle. That's what that is. So let's go to something a little lighter and let's see how that compares. At least according to the bottle, it's lighter. This is Aunt Maple's light syrup. It says here 50% fewer calories than regular syrup. Let's see if that's true. It says 100 calories per quarter cup serving. So quarter cups serving is 60 mLs. So this is 30 mLs. So that means that this is half of this. So that means that 60 mLs of this would be 220 calories. This regular one would be 220 calories. And this one is 60 mLs is 100 calories. So yeah, it's actually a little bit less than 50% of the calories. So they are being right about this. They are actually a lot lighter. They are more than half of the calories. What else? So the nutrients note, this is 0 protein. Of course, that same kind of ingredients. Let's see why it's a little different. It says high fructose corn syrup. This one also has high fructose corn syrup. This doesn't have regular corn syrup. It has cellulose gum, salt, potassium sorbate, caramel color. It doesn't have some of those preservatives. And there's an artificial maple flavor and citric acid. So it's missing those preservatives and then the corn syrup. And so these are pretty simple to see. You just want to look at the calories and then compare to how much you're actually getting. Because a lot of people will give you 30 mLs a serving, other people will give you 28 grams a serving, other companies will give you a quarter cup or a half a cup or a whole cup. So, or ounces, 8 ounces, 4 ounces, 3.5 ounces. Always want to take a look at that when you're reading your labels. Because you can't just, if you say, well, the calories are the same, let's get the light in there, 100 calories and then 110 calories. You can't just say, oh, well, this is better. Well, because for how much is it? For how much food are you getting? How much syrup? Why is that important? If you're going to have this one, by all means have it, but at least now you know how much you're getting it for how much food is coming with this. So You want it, like I said, you can have whatever you want. If you wanted to have this, and you can include this regular syrup into your daily calorie intake, then you should be fine. So let's move on to something that I would have and why I would have it. This is the reason I get this one. This and another one, I think it's Maple Grove. This one's called Carrie's. It's sugar-free, low-calorie syrup. Why do I get sugar-free? First of all, it's still sweet. I really don't taste the artificialness, whatever. I think it's very, very beneficial to have this sugar-free syrup, because if you're gonna have these protein waffles or pancakes, and then they're massive, well, you're gonna need a lot of syrup. So if you end up having something like this, you end up using a lot more than you end up thinking you will. Another thing I started doing is I put them in an actual cup. That way, when I put it in the cup, I'll cut the pieces of the waffle or the pancake and I'll dip it in, like for each bite, like if I was just any other dipping sauce. I don't always do that, but this is something that I've recently been doing. Why? Because when you put the syrup on the pancake ahead of time, what happens? It absorbs it, and then you don't even taste it. And for some reason, we need that gooey feeling on every single bite. If it feels dry, it could be sweet, and we just, for some reason, don't register it as sweet. And then we'll want to put more and more and more and more. And that's when having something like this goes terribly wrong. But with something like this, you can be a lot more careless and actually do indulge with this. So this is 5 calories for 30 mLs. So this is 105 calories less than this. So it'll be 55 calories less than this for 30 milliliters, or in this case 2 tablespoons. 30 mLs is about 30 grams, give or take. Really, really close as far as the numbers. Of 1 gram is about 1 milliliter. So when I put it on the food scale, I put a cup, because I told you I dip it. I'm not gonna put my plate on the scale and then every time I want to take a bite, I put this. That's not what I do. I put a cup on the scale, and I don't do 1 serving. I don't do 30 milliliters. I do about 60, or maybe even 90 if I feel like it. Why? Because 60 is only 10 calories and 90 is only 15 calories. At this point, my only real concern is I may need to have a lot of this at home, because I'm going through a lot of it. And because I end up having a lot. And it's a lot of yumminess when your pancakes are always fully syruped. And yeah, that's why I just have to have at least 2 bottles at home at all times. So this is a good option. I mean, I think try a sugar-free syrup. I mean, there's a bunch of others. This is probably as good as you'll get, 30 milliliters for 5 calories. Of course, there's no protein, because again, these are not protein conscious foods. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how that works. If you pick better options for things like sauces and snacks and just dips and things of that sort, you have a lot more calories for the heavier foods, like your fruits, your veggies, your chicken, your pastas, your rices, your granolas, your oatmeals, the foods that really get you going. And if you spend too many calories on this, then you got to shrink the size of your potatoes, shrink the size of your chicken, shrink the size of your rice, the things that you really want to carry you on with your day. If not, you're going to be starving, then you're going to be stressed, then you're going to be hungrier, and then you're going to be hangry, and then when you get home, you're going to binge, and just who knows what you'll eat. Everything will just go down the drain. So I hope that was beneficial for you. This is a whole new way of looking at calories, at least for me, for the past 2 years. But as I mentioned, I got better at it, and I know that you will too, because I never would have thought that this would have been the solution. But now that I did, I do it so fast. I mean, calorie counting takes 1 to 2 minutes at the most if I'm doing meal planning, like actual meal prep. But to count it, to put this in a cup on a scale, which is always handy in my kitchen, it takes like 30 seconds for me to count a food. So if you're not doing this, I'm sorry, because if the reason you're not doing this is because you don't feel like it or you think it's too much work, you are lazy. That is the case. If you don't know how to do it, I understand. And do watch my video about how I was able to lose 65 pounds in a year. Follow that, watch the videos, watch both parts. They really go into detail. But if you're saying you don't want to do it, don't tell me, it's not for me. I don't want to hear that. You're not the person that this is directed at. This is for the people who just simply are confused. They don't really have an idea of how that works. If you have no interest in calorie counting, by all means, you can lose weight by eating intuitively. Do it. You'll have a harder time doing it. And I wish that it works. I hope that it works for you, and I wish it does for anyone that wants to diet, because it's not an easy thing to do. But this is it's a surefire way to really be monitoring and knowing if you're gaining or losing. If you gain weight, you'll know why. If you lose weight, you'll know why. Imagine that benefit. So that's what I'm offering here. That is all for today. Leave the comments in the comment section. Press like, or well, you know what I mean. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends, especially the ones that are interested in this kind of thing. Don't just share it to anyone that doesn't want to lose weight or gain weight or know about protein or anything like that. And because I really want to reach the audience that wants to learn about this. And if you do like it, let me know in the comments of suggestions of topics that I can go into. There's so many things that I have planned. I can't release the videos that quickly, but I'll do my best to do it besides the Tuesday videos. And also remember to follow me on Facebook, on TikTok, and on Instagram. And remember, everybody, if you do more, you will be more.